Are you living in your zone of genius? In this episode, we are going to discuss 5 ways to activate your genius.
Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to tap into your power to manifest the happiness, success, and fulfillment that you desire. I am your host, Niajae, the Upper Limit Coach. I am here to dismantle your limiting beliefs and remove the blocks so you can confidently live your life's purpose, because life is meant to be abundant.
Hey M&Ms, thank you for tuning into the Abundance Hack Show. What are you manifesting in your life today? Before we dive into today's topic, I do want to say if this podcast has made a difference in your life, it's added some value, it's helped you overcome a limiting belief or a block and really step into that abundant life that you desire, and you're feeling called to give back, there's a few ways you can do so. So I don't have a Patreon account. I know a lot of podcast hosts do, but I don't. But I do have a PayPal link. So I will post that in the show notes if you're ever feeling called to donate because this podcast has made a difference in your life. Also, you can purchase my sound therapy recordings. It's a great way to give back to me, and a way that you can give back to me and any podcast that you actually listen to and love is to share it. Share it, comment, let the podcast hosts know that you are enjoying it, because it is a lot of work and we do pour a lot into it. People that have podcasts usually feel really passionate about what they're discussing. So if it's making a difference in your life and adding value, definitely let them know. I'm sure any podcast host would be glad to hear that, and I know I would. So if I've made a difference in your life, definitely let me know. All right, so let's dive into today's topic. So today we are talking about the zone of genius. So what is your zone of genius? Your zone of genius is your unique power. It's a one-of-a-kind quality that you bring to your life or the world. It's something that you do better than almost anyone. So I want you to ask yourself, are you living in your zone of genius? Now, why would some people not live in their zone of genius? Number one is the fear of being different. A lot of times people judge what they don't understand, and most people don't want to be judged. So what we do is we fall in line. We fit into a box. We do what everyone else is doing. We do the social norms or the American dream. Society says your life should look like this, your career should look like this, your relationship should look like this. And so we stay in this box because we feel that's what we are supposed to do, so we're not judged by other people or society. Number two is not believing in your skills or gifts. So a lot of times your zone of genius comes really natural to you. It comes natural, it's effortless, so sometimes you don't realize that it's actually a gift that you are meant to share with the world. You don't realize that it's something that doesn't come easy or natural to other people, so a lot of times our zone of genius is overlooked because of that. And the third reason people are not living in their zone of genius is because they are disconnected from their intuition or their inner being. We come into this world connected to our inner being and doing what feels natural to us. As children, we're completely uninhibited and we do what feels right. And then society comes along and tells us, no, don't do that. No, you can't do that. No, that's not right. No, this is not how you act. This is not how you think. This is not how you be. And we lose connection to our inner being and what feels right to us at our core. And when you go on a spiritual journey, it's undoing all of the social conditioning that we learn throughout our lives to connect back to that inner being, to connect back to that childlike desire to play and be creative and explore. And that is what really activating your zone of genius is removing the blocks that has been placed on you throughout life. Society saying you have to do this or do that or be this way. This is what your life should look like. This is what your career should look like. This is what your relationship should look like. And I felt called to do this podcast episode because I made some changes in my life over the quarantine. And I know I usually don't talk about world events because I want this podcast to be timeless and evergreen, but we just went through a quarantine, obviously. So I made some changes in my place. I sold my couch and I moved my bed into my living room, so completely remodeled my place in a really weird way. And I did this because it felt natural, and I'm like, okay, why would I not do this? It's because people would think I'm crazy, like, okay, why is your bed in your living room? But I will tell you, I freaking love it. I love it because what I did was I turned my actual bedroom into a sound bowl studio and recording studio. And I glittered my wall and I freaking love it. But just think about how many times we are feeling called, or we have an inkling, or we're feeling inspired to do something and we don't move forward with it because people will judge us, because people will think we're crazy or unorthodox, you know. But one of the things that I've had to do in my life is just accept the fact that people are going to think I'm crazy. Some of my best ideas, people have thought I was crazy, but they were my best ideas and I wouldn't change it for anything in this world. So yes, I glittered my wall, I moved my bed into my living room, and I turned my bedroom into a sound bowl studio and a recording studio. And it's the best decision that I've ever made. So when I made that decision, I had to ask myself, where else in my life am I not doing what I feel called to do because I'm worried people will judge me or think I'm crazy? And that question has opened up so many possibilities for me. So many possibilities for me. So ask yourself, where in your life are you not doing what you feel called to do because you are afraid someone will judge you or think you're crazy? And for me personally, I had to just accept, like, okay, I'm unorthodox. People are gonna think I'm crazy, but it's okay because you know what? I'm inspiring other people to do what they feel called to do. From the purple hair to the glitter wall, I am inspiring people to connect back to their creativity, connect back to the inner artist. We all have an inner artist and we express ourselves artistically in different ways. I am a very visual person, so I like to create pretty aesthetics, like things that are aesthetically pleasing. That's part of my artistry. So the purple hair, the glitter wall, it's all part of my artistry. And then I also love sound, so I used to sing and the sound therapy. So I am gravitating more towards the things that are helping me activate my zone of genius. So why do we want to activate our zone of genius? I have 4 reasons why. Number 1 is it's going to produce the best results. If you fit into a box and you sound like everyone else, like, okay, the results may be okay, but if you really connect to your inner being and it's coming from a place of your creativity and your artistry, it's going to produce the best results. And number 2 is you will attain the highest degree of sustained satisfaction. We live in a world of instant gratification. We do the bare minimum to get by. We do the bare minimum to start a business. We do the bare minimum, and it's only going to give us that instant gratification, and then when it wears off, we're like, okay, now what? But if you really tap into your zone of genius, it is going to give you a sustained satisfaction. And when you create a body of work that you are proud of, it is another level of satisfaction and fulfillment. And once you experience that, you will not want to go back to the instant gratification. So to me, this is really powerful. I could do the bare minimum of putting a podcast on, but I take it to the next level and really tap into my creativity because it feels so much better. And I know that I'm creating something that I'm truly proud of. So ask yourself, what am I creating that I'm truly proud of? And it doesn't have to be something you share with the world. It could be something that's just for you. You create a piece of art. Let's just say you paint. You create a painting that you have in your room that no one else sees, but you are proud of it. So it's not always doing things for the world, although that's part of it, you know, but also doing stuff for you that feels good for you. So what are you doing that feels good for you? And what are you doing that feels good to share with the world? Really powerful questions to ask yourself. And a third reason why you want to activate your zone of genius is because it will feel effortless and aligned. And that is something that I am working on and I am embodying in every single area of my life is alignment, making sure that it feels aligned. I've started several businesses throughout my life, and I was raised to hustle, to grind, and to work hard for what I want. And what I've been focusing on lately is really focusing on my energy and allowing things to flow, allowing things to fall into place, align into place. And it's a different feeling. Like I literally just I feel it in my body even just saying it. So really creating from a place of alignment. And for me, what that looks like is removing the blocks, removing the judgment. And a lot of times that fear of judgment is because we're judging ourselves. And I've been there. So really practicing self-compassion and really embracing the good, the bad, and the ugly, embracing your light and your dark. I talk about this on the podcast all the time because it's so incredibly powerful. So when you can stop judging yourself, you will stop caring if others judge you and really allow yourself to go there. And wherever there is for you, go to that creative place without judging yourself. When you come from a place of love and bliss and joy and creativity, it will feel aligned. And a fourth reason you want to activate your genius is because it's your calling, it's your purpose. So I believe the more we tap into our intuition and that creativity and our joy and our bliss and our happiness, the more we are going to gravitate towards our purpose. And that is what's going to give you a fulfilling and abundant life.
Have you ever thought, who am I to write a book, start a podcast, or create an online course? Have you ever been hesitant to share your gifts with the world because you were afraid of what people would say or think? It is time to stop hiding your magic from the world. Go to Niajae.com/decadent to download the 6 steps to a decadent you so you can gain clarity around your purpose, have courage to stand in your truth, build confidence to step into your power, and shine your light bright unapologetically. Go to Niajae.com/decadent so you can take the steps towards thriving in your fullest expression.
We've discussed why people are not living in their zone of genius, why you should activate your genius. So now let's discuss how to activate your genius. So number 1 is journaling. A lot of people don't take time to really focus on what they're good at. What comes easy to you? What comes natural to you? What is effortless? What are people constantly coming to you for or telling you you're really good at? So I recommend you grab a journal and write down every single thing that you're good at. Every single thing that comes easy or natural to you, every single thing that feels good when you do it, and it feels effortless to where time flies. You know, they say time flies when you're having fun. So what is an activity that you're good at that when you do, time just flies by? You have no sense of time. So keep writing everything that you can think of until you can't write anymore. The second way to activate your genius is give yourself permission to be creative. Give yourself permission. Allow yourself to be creative. And this is really powerful. So when you are writing or creating or working, whatever it is that you're doing, allow yourself to be creative without the constraints that society and your parents has placed on you. So give yourself permission to color outside of the lines. Create your own lines and see what comes of that. We block our own creativity because, again, we're afraid of being judged. So give yourself permission to be creative in a judgment-free zone. The third way to activate your genius is to set aside time every single day to get into your flow state. So what exactly is a flow state? It's basically being in the zone. Now, that looks different for everyone, but one of the reasons why people recommend meditating every morning is because it's helping you connect to your inner being, quiet the outside noise, and connect to your inner being and your higher self, so it takes you into that zone. And sound therapy is actually a really great way to get into the zone because it activates those brain waves. It activates the alpha and theta brainwave, and when you're in that theta state, oh, you're in the zone. The fourth way to activate your genius is to place yourself in a growth environment. When do you do your best work? Where do you do your best work? Some people say it's while they're driving. For some people, it's when they're meditating or journaling first thing in the morning. So really start to pay attention when you feel your most creative, when you feel your most intuitive, when you feel the most connected to your inner being or higher self, and set aside that time to really get into your flow state and place yourself in a growth environment. Place yourself somewhere where you feel the most creative or connected to your intuition. The fifth way to activate your genius is to embrace non-linear thinking. Things don't have to be a straight line. It doesn't have to be black or white. So really embracing the infinite possibilities, and really allow yourself to be creative and color outside of the lines and be open to things being better than what you ever imagined. Be open to the infinite possibilities, and as you raise your level of consciousness, you will start to see more of the infinite possibilities. So really embracing that non-linear thinking and being okay if people think you're crazy. It's fine. People thought Einstein was crazy. When Apple came out, the first laptop computer or iMac computer, people thought he was crazy, but look at him now. So really allowing yourself to go there and practicing non-judgment, and also being okay if people do judge you. If people do judge you, so what? If people think you're crazy, so what? All right, let's do a really quick recap of the 5 ways to activate your genius. Number 1 is journal what you're really good at. What comes easy? What comes natural to you? What makes you lose track of time? What feels good? Number 2 is give yourself permission to be creative. Expand your mind. Give yourself permission to color outside the lines. Number 3 is set aside time every single day to get into a flow state. Number 4 is place yourself in a growth environment. Where and when do you do your best work? When are you your most creative? Number 5 is embrace non-linear thinking. Because sound therapy is so great to help you activate that theta state and get into your flow state, I had to go ahead and create a guided meditation and sound therapy recording for activating your genius. So if you're interested in that, you can go to niajae.com/genius. It will be a guided meditation where I'm playing crystal and type and sound bowls to really get those creative juices flowing, to really remove any blocks and activate the chakras that are going to help you get into that flow state, that theta state, and activate your genius. So first, it'll be sacral chakra. Our sacral chakra is the chakra that controls our creativity and our passion. And then our third eye, so connecting to your intuition, removing the blocks that society has placed on you, saying you can't do this, you can't do that, and really connecting to your creativity and your artist in your core without feeling that judgment or that fear. And then also your crown chakra, to connect you to your higher self, to give you that eagle eye view. So a lot of times we see just what's right in front of us, but when you raise your level of consciousness through that theta state, it gives you that eagle eye view so you can see further and really tap into the infinite possibilities. If you're interested in that, go to niajae.com/genius and let's get these genius vibes going. So I'm really excited to see what you create when you allow yourself to be creative and activate that genius inside of you. Until next time, be decadent.
Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.